You're on right now. Uh-oh.
Oh, here it comes. There we go.
It's on here, not on our app.
No, no, no.
Where are we at? We're on OTT.
Hi everyone, Maria Cade here with First Alert 6. We do want to take you live to the scene right now. The funeral procession for fallen trooper Kyle McAcy is happening right now, and we are going to be bringing you live coverage as well as sharing a little bit more about Kyle, his life, and how his family are remembering him. So let's go to that scene right now. As you can see here, the funeral procession is happening. There are law enforcement members on their motorcycles going as they make their way down to where the actual funeral is happening. Now, this procession, of course, starting right now around 9 a.m. If you're not already there, you, of course, are watching it here with us live, but you can also go and watch it in person. Support and remember Kyle's memory in person if you would like. Of course, we are showing you that procession right now here if you're not able to make it. Again, that actual funeral service is set to start at 11 a.m. It's happening at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. You can also go in person. You are invited to go. The public is to honor Trooper McAcy there as well. So we're going to take a live look and continue to see all of these trooper vehicles that are heading out, of course, to honor one of their own that has fallen. So let's take a listen and see what's happening here at the procession. Right now, again, if you are joining us live here on Facebook, on our app, or on YouTube, we are showing you the live funeral procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. He was 31 years old. If you haven't heard, he died last week while responding to a car crash, unfortunately on I-80 during that winter weather and that winter spout that we had last week. So, of course, all of his fellow law enforcement members are honoring him, remembering him today. If you, a member of the public, wants to go out and do the same, you can also do that. It is happening at 11 a.m. at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. And, of course, again, we are showing you that live funeral procession that's taking place throughout the metro now. We see all the different law enforcement cruisers who are making their way down there as they honor Trooper Kyle McAcy as well. And, you know, a lot of people throughout the community have reached out to share their support for Trooper McAcy as well. We do want to show you a live look here at one of the cruisers who are making their way throughout the funeral procession. This is a live look. You can see them making their way down 60th Street. That is where the majority of this procession is happening. All of the cars are leaving from the funeral home right now, again, to make their way down to Liberty First Credit Union Arena down in Ralston. So taking a live look here at that live view as the procession is making their way down 60th Street to make their way over to the procession. So as you can see right now, they are at 60th and Center, making their way to Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. Kyle was 31 years old when he died. He died last week while responding to a crash on I-80. This procession is going from the funeral home where he was all the way to Liberty First Credit Union Arena down in Ralston. That is where a public funeral service is set to start at 11 a.m. You are invited to go and honor Trooper McAcy in person there. But of course, we will be live streaming that event here on First Alert 6 as well if you're not able to make it in person, so that you will still all be able to experience that. Let's take another look at what the funeral procession looks like from the outside perspective from one of our crews who is there on the scene. As you can see, tons of first responders who are participating in this procession. There are different ambulance vehicles, police vehicles we see as well, highway patrol coming up there on your screen, all taking part in this funeral procession to honor Trooper Kyle McAcy, excuse me. Again, that funeral service is set to start at 11 a.m. It's happening at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. You are invited to go and honor Trooper McAcy in person there, but many people in the community have also done so before today. The past few days, Kyle's Trooper Cruiser was actually parked outside of the Troop A headquarters here in Omaha, and it was really a sight to see. So we do want to bring that up and show you a little bit about what that looked like and how people were able to honor him in that way. So let's take a look here and show you what it looked like just a couple days ago. As you can see here in this video that we shot last week, his cruiser is filled with different flowers, stuffed animals. You can see some balloons there. I believe there's also a wreath at the front of the car as well, showcasing, of course, the blue flag signifying support for our law enforcement that people had brought to the Troop A headquarters in order to support and remember Trooper McAcy. It's really, really something to see as well. Many people left messages on that car as well, just in memory of him, to make sure that they were honoring him and remembering him. Even Governor Jim Pillen and First Lady Suzanne made a visit to see the cruiser. They went up last week as well. They placed some flowers for Kyle on that cruiser. It was really something to see and really shows the support that the community has for him and the memory that they want to remember him by. So we do want to tell you a little bit about the impacts of traffic here. If you are set to come down to Liberty First Arena down in Ralston, and we do want to bring in our Jarrett Lansford for that to tell us a little bit about this, because Jarrett, this is going to impact a lot of traffic throughout the day. Again, the procession is happening right now. That's taking place primarily on 60th Street, but some other streets are also going to be closed. So Jarrett, can you tell everybody a little bit about what they need to know for that?
Yeah, there's a lot of roads that are being affected as this takes place. So if you are going to be driving around this area, there's certainly some aspects you want to be watching for. And what we've got here is a map that shows the entire route here of what you can expect as far as the roads being impacted. And that's the entire route. Right now, we are looking at this being right near the interstate with where this procession is coming through. So we are looking at closures in place right at the ramps. You can see the purple that's in place there on I-80 right around 60th. You cannot access that at this point. You're going to be looking at L closed as you're heading from about 60th over to 72nd, and then as you head down toward right around the arena there, right near 72nd and Q. So no access to any of those spots at this point. So this will open up gradually as that procession continues along its route. You want to make sure that you are being prepared for that to be an area you're not going to get to at this point. If you're about to head out, maybe headed toward 84th, heading toward 42nd to get toward I-80 is your best plan of action. And by the way, if you're heading toward the arena for this, you're going to want to maybe come in off from the south on 72nd, because as we just mentioned, northbound to go from 72nd from about L to where the arena is at is blocked off at this point. So that's what you need to know as far as traffic related to this procession. Again, this is going to be opening back up here as the procession continues along. So patience, a good idea with this whole event.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jarrett, for that. Of course, very important. Again, remember, if you are making your way near that area, a lot of it's taking place on 60th, so try and find those alternate routes like Jarrett was telling us about. You definitely want to keep that in mind. So we do want to show you this. It is an overhead view of the procession here that is being streamed from the Nebraska State patrol, and now they are taking a live look again at one of those cars that is in the procession. Again, if you're just joining us live right now, we are live streaming the funeral procession and the funeral services for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. He is going to be laid to rest in Ralston today. It's happening at 11 o'clock at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. You are invited to go. The public is invited to go and honor his memory if you are interested. Again, that's happening at 11 o'clock, and we will be live streaming that here for you as well. So we do want to take another look from the outside perspective of this procession. This is a look on 60th. As you can see, the cars, these are actually leaving from the funeral home where the procession started, again heading down to Liberty First Credit Union Arena for that official service that again is open to the public and is starting at 11 o'clock. You are invited to go and honor Trooper McAcy there as well. But many people in the community, you know, they have reached out to share their support for Trooper McAcy throughout this time, and I think that we can hear a little bit in the background of the different cars that are honking. As you can see there, it looks like some other motorcycle fleets are making their way as a part of the procession. So we're going to take a little pause here and just watch and take in this moment. Taking a live look again at that funeral procession. This is a look at one of the cars that is a part of the procession. They are making their way down to Liberty First Credit Union Arena right now. So we do see that here, and we are showing that as well. Like we said, many people in the community have reached out to share their support for Trooper McAcy, and actually our Philip Catafamo, he spoke with members of Kyle's family last week after this all happened, after the tragic crash. So we do want to share a little bit about how they are remembering him with you all right now. So we're going to show that.
If you ask the McAcy family who the biggest troublemaker was, they will resoundingly agree. Kyle McAcy served as a Nebraska State Trooper for 10 years, but to the McAceys, he was a son and a brother.
His two older siblings had little sleds out in their front yard, the little round things that you can go down, and we have kind of a sloped hill in the front of our house, and of course Kyle didn't have one. There were only two of them, so they got the idea to get a trash can lid.
I'm the one who put him in the trash can, and then I'm the one who got in trouble for it.
Mom comes out furious as the trash can's going down the hill and it gets to the bottom, and Kyle pops out. That was fun, let's do it again.
Let's do this again.
Kyle's family describes him as funny, charismatic, kind, and loving. Off duty, they say he volunteered at Children's Nebraska.
Kyle just thrived on being with people and helping people. I mean, that was just, it would just make my heart happy how much he cared about everybody.
All of those qualities that Kyle has as an adult, all of those qualities that made him an excellent law enforcement officer, that's made him an excellent person. He had those when he was a kid.
Kyle always wanted to go into law enforcement, following in the footsteps of his grandfather. He tragically passed Monday while doing what he loved, helping people.
I know that he's with the Lord and he's in good hands, but I would give anything to hug him again. I always asked Trooper or Sergeant Estowick if I could just hold him one more time. And I know that wasn't. But as a mom, I wanted to.
All week, the family has heard stories of Kyle's kindness from people they've never met. Their hope is for his memory to live on through those stories of who he was and what he meant to his community.
It is very comforting to know that Kyle was as special to everyone he met as he was to us.
In Omaha, I'm Philip Catafamo, First Alert 6.
All right, everyone. Again, that was Kyle's family remembering him and honoring him. It's really something to hear about, you know. Oftentimes in these tragic situations, it's important to hear from the family, the people who knew him best. So obviously, you know, so insightful there. We do want to take another live look again at the funeral procession, which is happening right now. We do have an aerial view to show you here. As you can see, all of the vehicles that are making their way down this route. We do want to take a moment just to listen in and take in this sight. Again, that Phil Collins song, You'll Be in My Heart, very, very emotional this morning. If you are just joining us for the first time, Maria Cade here with First Alert 6. We are showing you a live look at the funeral procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy, who is going to be laid to rest in Ralston today. Kyle was just 31 years old. You might remember last week during that winter weather that we had, he died unfortunately while responding to a crash on I-80. So today, his law enforcement family, friends, many people are showing out in the Omaha community and beyond to honor him. If you would like to also show your support and share in his memory, there is a live funeral service that is set to start today at 11 a.m. It's happening at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. And again, the public is invited to go. So if that is something that you would like to do to go and support, the public is invited as well. So we do want to take another look here at the scene outside of Liberty First Arena. Something really to see here. There are what appears to be people outside waiting to go into the funeral service, again, that's starting at 11 a.m., who are there to honor his memory. It looks like many people are already showing up to show their support and honor the memory of Kyle. It's really, really something to see. So we just want to take a moment here and see the people who are honoring Trooper McAcy today. And again, you can see all of those law enforcement vehicles that are making their way over to the arena. They're just getting there right now down in Ralston. You can see the trooper vehicles and the other police cars that are making their way into the parking lot ahead of the service that's set to start at 11 a.m. Again, we will be live streaming that for you right here on First Alert 6 if you're not able to go in person, but the public is invited to go and honor the memory of Kyle in person as well. So we do want to let you know about that. Of course, again, we will be live streaming that funeral service live at 11 a.m. here on First Alert 6. Let's take another aerial look at the funeral procession here. This is from the Nebraska State Patrol, and take a moment here to look and see all of those people who are riding in the procession in support and in memory of Kyle. Again, taking a live look, this is right outside of Liberty First Arena down in Ralston. This is from one of our crews who is there on the scene. You can see all of the vehicles who are making their way over, and we do also want to show you a live drive-through of those vehicles that are making their way into the parking lot now, making their way over to Liberty First Credit Union Arena. If you are just joining us live right now, Maria Cade here from First Alert 6. We're showing you a live overview and a live look into the procession and funeral service that's happening later today for Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. He was 31 years old when he died tragically last week while responding to a crash on I-80, and there are law enforcement officials from all over who are taking part in this procession and the service that's happening today. It's happening today at 11 a.m. out in Ralston at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. This is a public service, so if you would like to go and show your support and share in the memory of Kyle, you are invited to do so. Another live look here from our crew outside. There seems to be people on the side of the street as the procession is making its way into Liberty First Arena holding American flags. Really, really something to see here, so we do want to take a moment and take in this moment. We are taking a live look again, if you are just joining us right now, at the funeral procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. Really a sight to see there. As you can see, so many law enforcement and first responders taking part in, showing and sharing in the memory of Kyle. Obviously, he tragically died, unfortunately, last week in a crash during that winter spout that we had with the snow. We do want to take a different look at this procession here from Nebraska State Patrol. Really something to see, that overhead aerial view. And as you can see that flag flying in the wind, we're taking a live look now from one of the cars that is actually in the procession, a live drive-through with them right now. So we're going to take a moment and listen in on this. Again, if you're just joining us live here for the first time, Maria Kate here with First Alert 6. We are giving you a live look into the funeral procession and funeral service of fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. He is being laid to rest today. There will be a public service at 11 a.m. down in Ralston. The public is invited to attend. And on Tuesday, the United States honor flag actually arrived in Omaha to honor Kyle. You might be aware of its significance, but we really do want to show you this special moment. So let's take a look at that video here from when that happened on Tuesday. As you can see, the flag arriving into the terminal at Epley Airfield. This was on Tuesday night. Let's take a listen. Again, that is the honor flag making its way into Epley Airfield on Tuesday in honor of fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. Really something to see there. The flag being brought in by the troops. It travels across the country, if you're not aware, in honor of our fallen heroes. And as you saw there in that video, passengers at Epley watched as the flag was carried in to Omaha in honor of Trooper McAcy. And troopers also held the flag during an honor guard march later in the week as well. And their gloves during that march were actually given back to McAcy's loved ones. So really, really a special moment there. We do want to take some time to show you again that live look at Liberty First Arena down in Ralston, where the funeral service is happening today at 11 a.m. Again, that is a public service. So let's take a look there and see what the scene looks like there. As you can see, people lining the streets, getting ready as the procession is making its way into the arena. And there is a portion of 60th Street that was shut down, but we are getting word from our crews here at First Alert 6 that there are some changes. So we're going to bring back in Jarrett Lansford just to tell us a little bit about what those changes are so that we can let you all know what is going on there, because we do want to make you aware. Of course, this was causing a lot of traffic impacts throughout the morning as the procession was heading on. And Jarrett, are you able to share a little bit about what's going on now?
Yeah, so as that procession has continued to move, that has resulted in some of these areas that had been closed to open back up. So I can show you right now, I have a view of the DOT camera, and we had the ramps at 60th that had been closed. We have been seeing some traffic that has been making their way on those off ramps. You just saw one vehicle that took that. So you're looking at I-80. This is right near 60th, and this has opened back up for those ramps to make their way onto the 60th off ramps. So we've been watching some vehicles occasionally that have been making their way through there. So that is something that has cleared back up, and they've been opening up those roads that we were talking about over the course of this procession. As it moves along, they open things back up. So we are seeing more and more of those roads return to regular use. So anyone who's heading into that area, continue to use caution. You're going to be looking at still some of that procession moving through, but Maria, we are starting to open some of those roads back up.
That's good news, especially if you are getting ready to head out to make your way out throughout the day. They know that those areas are now open. So thank you so much, Jarrett. Again, we do want to take a live look at that funeral procession. If you are just joining us live right now, Maria Cade here with First Alert 6. We are showing you a live look at the funeral procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. So let's take a look out there right now. As you can see, there are spectators who are lining the streets as the cars head into the arena for the funeral today. If you are interested, there is a public funeral service. It's happening at 11 a.m. at Liberty First Credit Union Arena down in Ralston. And we can see people there who are lining the streets as the motorcycles and the cars, the trucks are making their way into the parking lot. This is right outside of the arena. Again, that funeral service is set to start at 11 a.m. It's happening at Liberty First Credit Union Arena down in Ralston. It is open to the public, so the family is inviting the public to share in Kyle's memory. If you would like to attend, that is open for the public to go and experience. It's happening at 11 a.m. But if you're unable to make it, we will be live streaming that here at First Alert 6 for you so that we can all watch it. But we do want to take a live look at this aerial view. This is from the Nebraska State Patrol. Let's listen in. It seems like they are taking Kyle McAcy into the arena. Again, if you are joining us live right now for the first time, Maria Cade here with First Alert 6. We're showing you a live look at the funeral procession for fallen Nebraska State Trooper Kyle McAcy. Unfortunately, he passed away on the job last week during that winter spout that we had. He was responding to a crash on I-80, and he was just 31 years old. Now, we tried to share a little bit from his family, who our Philip Katafimo spoke to last week after this all happened, and how they're remembering him. I don't believe that the audio was working then, so we're going to try and get that up for you now and share a little bit more about how they are remembering him, because it's really something to see, and we do want to share that. So let's try and pull that up now.
You ask the McAcy family who the biggest troublemaker was, they will resoundingly agree.
Kyle.
Kyle McAcy served as a Nebraska State Trooper for 10 years, but to the McAceys, he was a son and a brother.
His two older siblings had little sleds out in their front yard, the little round things that you can go down, and we have kind of a sloped hill in front of our house. And of course, Kyle didn't have one. There were only two of them, so they got the idea to get a trash can lid.
I'm the one who put him in the trash can, and then I'm the one who got in trouble for it.
Mom comes out furious as the trash can's going down the hill and gets to the bottom, and Kyle pops out. That was fun. Let's do it again.
Let's do this again.
Kyle's family describes him as funny, charismatic, kind, and loving. Off duty, they say he volunteered at Children's Nebraska.
Kyle just thrived on being with people and helping people. I mean, that was just, it would just make my heart happy how much he cared about everybody.
All of those qualities that Kyle has as an adult, all of those qualities that made him an excellent law enforcement officer, that just made him an excellent person, he had those when he was a kid.
Kyle always wanted to go into law enforcement, following in the footsteps of his grandfather. He tragically passed Monday while doing what he loved, helping people.
I know that he's with the Lord and he's in good hands, but I would give anything to hug him again. I always asked Trooper or Sergeant Estowick if I could just hold him one more time, and I know that wasn't. But as a mom, I wanted to be there.
All week, the family has heard stories of Kyle's kindness from people they've never met. Their hope is for his memory to live on through those stories of who he was and what he meant to his community.
It is very comforting to know that Kyle was as special to everyone he met as he was to us.
In Omaha, I'm Philip Katafimo, First Alert 6.
Absolutely. So Maria, just getting set up here with the graphics real quick. But yeah, we have been watching how things have been moving in the areas on the roads, because we had all these closures as the procession came through the area. And I can tell you that when we are looking here at our graphics, this is where the route went through. Now, a lot of the traffic has made its way all the way through the route. We've seen some of this open back up. That includes, as you're looking, those purple areas, those are the ramps to go from I-80 both eastbound and westbound to access 60th. Those have opened back up, and a lot of these roads have also seen traffic resume through these areas. So if you're heading into these areas, still going to be a good idea to watch out for some potential impacts right near the arena. That's, again, right near roughly 72nd and Q is where you're looking at that being in place. There may still be some of that traffic right around that area and some impacts, but a lot of the rest of these roads are opening back up. So we are looking at seeing the traffic impact of this kind of start to subside, and now it's just going to be the part of all of the people who are going to the funeral. Watch for heavy traffic right near the arena for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, at 11 o'clock that starts again. So thank you so much, Sheriff, for sharing that. Yes. And as we get more updates for you, we will be sharing those as well. So we were able to get that video up of Trooper McAcy's colleagues speaking about him and his memory. So we also want to show you that now. Let's bring that up here and share a little bit more about how they are remembering their friend.
Nebraska State Trooper Keith Bell remembers Kyle McAcy as a goofball around the office.
He was honorary, always cracking practical jokes or things like that, you know, constantly either making fun of my size or his good friend Tyler, who's about my size as well. He'd call us Sasquatches and things like that.
Bell met Kyle when he was 15 in the Omaha Explorers program.
Very inquisitive, asked a lot of questions, and I remember the first time I met him, first thing he says, "Hi, I'm Kyle, and I'll be helping you today." Not that I'm going to get to ask you to help me, I will be helping you today.
Bell also remembers his former mentee as loving and caring with a heart for helping others. During his 10 years with NSP, Bell says Kyle served in many roles.
A traffic trooper, he was a range instructor, and he also was a crisis negotiator. So all those things involved, just those three things alone speaks to who he was. He wanted to teach, he wanted to serve, he also wanted to help people in their time of crisis as well.
McAcy was also involved in the community. Bell says anytime there was a fundraiser, McAcy was there to help.
Anything that we had, whether it be some type of Christmas toy drive, the pink patch drive, things like that, Kyle was front and center to be a part of that.
Colonel John Bolduck met McAcy in 2017. He tells First Alert 6 it can be challenging to connect with people as a law enforcement officer, but Kyle had a great way with people.
I'm sure there were a few occasions when someone was pulled over and they're like, "Hey, I got to go here, and this trooper just wants to keep talking to me." But that would be Kyle. I mean, he just loved to talk to people. He loved people. And since that's how he was oriented, I mean, he was in a great line of work.
On Wednesday, Bell cleaned out McAcy's cruiser. It's on display at the NSP office in Omaha, covered in gifts from the community and people who knew him well.
And as we were taking these things down and we're putting them in places, and as we removed the car, I started seeing how empty that space was. And so that's what it was. It got a little emotional for me there.
Bell says he will miss the conversations he had with his colleague.
It's amazing that a little guy like that just made such a huge impact.
In Omaha, I'm Philip Katafamo, First Alert 6.
And you can make a donation.
Let's take a moment to listen in here. As you can see, the casket is making its way into Liberty First Credit Union Arena. That funeral service for Trooper Kyle McAcy, it's set to start at 11 a.m. at Liberty First Credit Union Arena, and that is a public service as well. So let's take a moment to watch. Again, you're taking a live look inside of Liberty First Credit Union Arena. That is where that public service is happening at 11 a.m. We will be back here in just a little bit over an hour to live stream that service for you all if you're not able to make it in person. But again, it is open to the public. So if you would like to go and share in the memory of Kyle with his family and friends and support them, you are invited to do so. That's happening at 11 a.m. Again, if you would like to go. But if not, we will be live streaming that over on our website. That's firstalert6.com. We'll also have live streams up on our Facebook page and our YouTube page as well. So multiple different avenues for you to watch and take part in this. We definitely want to share it. And again, as you heard just a couple of minutes ago, we were sharing some memories that Kyle's colleagues and his family had of him. Of course, he's their brother, their son, their friend. So it is always really something to hear from the people who knew him best. So we do want to send our sincerest condolences to them and thank them for being willing to share their story and their memories of their loved one with us. It definitely means a lot, and now we're able to share his story with all of you. Now, if you do want to honor Kyle, there are a couple ways that you can do so, so we want to tell you about those really quickly before we cut off here. So let's pull those up here and tell you a little bit about them. If you would like, you're able to make a donation to Children's Nebraska on Kyle's behalf. The family is asking for donations to be sent there. We do have a link for that up on our website, firstalert6.com. If you would like to make a donation there, you can do that. You can also send cards to Troop A headquarters, and that is in Omaha. That address specifically, if you want to write it down, I'll give you a couple seconds to pull up your phone or grab a pen or a paper. That address, if you would like to send cards to the family and his friends, is 4411 South 108th Street, and the zip code is 68137. I'll repeat that address again just one more time. It's 4411 South 108th Street. That's in Omaha. And the zip code, one more time, is 68137. But if you did miss that, we have all of this information up for you over on our website, firstalert6.com. We also want to tell you a little bit about Kyle's family and friends and their future plans to keep his memory alive. This is really something special. We're told that they're working on a scholarship to McAcy that's actually going to help future law enforcement and future heroes who are studying there to help others, just like Kyle did so many times. So again, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6. Maria Cade reporting. Thank you so much. Again, we are going to be back here on our website, on our Facebook, on YouTube as well to live stream that funeral service. It's happening at 11 o'clock. So make sure you come back and tune in. We will be live streaming that and sharing all of that with you here at firstalert6.com. For now, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back at 11.